Now, why did you cut your hair?
Oh my God, I've been wanting to answer this question. I went through a crazy, crazy life change for myself. I had gotten out of a relationship, and I'm making this big step for myself as far as like adulting, you know. And so after I cut it, I didn't expect the outcome of like positivity that I got from cutting it. And you know, I got so many messages that were telling me like, wow, you inspire me to want to cut my hair, you know, because like for Latinas, hair is a big deal. Having long, luscious, brown, lovely hair is a big deal. And so for me, I also try to think to myself, I was like, my beauty doesn't stem from what's on top of my head, you know. So it's crazy. I just feel like it was a growing thing for me, you know. I felt like I had to do it.
How bad of a breakup is it to cut your hair, though? Chop it off?
Oh, man.
Something bad must have happened, because people don't just usually chop their hair off after a breakup.
It was a hard breakup. I'm not gonna cry on here, but it was, you know, when people just go their separate ways and you realize that like sometimes it's best like that. And I realized that you know, I'm on a different wave in my life and he was on a different wave of his life. And you know, I felt like at some point I know usually when people cut off their hair after relationships, they'll just chop it off to like a bob cut. But when I did it, I remember sitting in the chair and my friend was on the side of me and the lady cut it to a bob cut. I was like, I'm good, I don't need any more. And then my friend looks at me and she goes, no, you've been wanting to do this. You need to do this. Because I was about to back out. And so when I did cut it off, it was more of that feeling where I was like, I felt revived, I felt renewed, I felt like a completely different person, but like a positive person. Because you know that quote, when a woman cuts her hair, you know that her life's about to change. So I did, and I felt this weight off of my shoulders, which was really weird. And you know, it wasn't like a crazy bad breakup, but it just made me realize that, you know, I wanted something different for myself and who I saw myself in the mirror, not in a way where I wanted to change everything, but in a way where like I was like, you know what, I wanna do something insane for once. I want to do something out of the box, because I've always been afraid of being different, of doing things differently, of, you know, jumping towards something. I don't know how to explain that, but do you know what I mean? So like, I wanted to do it.
How long was this relationship?
It was 4 years.
And what was the breakup over?
It was over, you know, we were both in the music industry, and you know, sometimes it just gets really tough to have that time with that person, and you know, sometimes things just don't work out the way that you'd hope for them to, I guess.
So you break up with this person. How long after the breakup is the cut done?
Oh man, like 3 days.
Oh.
Like 3 days.
But your friend in the chair said you really wanted this, so this is something you were thinking about way past 3 days.
Yeah,
way before 3 days. It wasn't spontaneous.
It wasn't spontaneous. It has been something that I had been thinking about, but I always kind of just like put off, you know what I mean? Like, you know how people are like, I want to dye my hair pink, but they never do it? So that's kind of like something I print screen these pictures of these girls with really cute pixie cuts, and I'm like, I'm going to do that one day. I'm going to do it, you know? And then once the breakup happened, it was something I just talked about for 3 days, like constantly. I'm like, I'm going to chop off my hair. I don't even care. I'm going to chop it off. And so it was a spontaneous thing to do, but I felt like I've never done stuff like that before. And when I did it, I just felt like, I was like, watch out, this new Cristina. Like, so yeah.
So it was spontaneous, kind of, but not really. It's, I guess.
Yeah. It's kind of like I've been thinking about it still, but it was spontaneous for me to actually do something like that. Like, I've never done anything like that to my hair, ever. Like, I mean, every girl's done like an ombre, but that's nothing crazy. But actually, like, shaving off your head is different, you know?
Mm. So you woke up that morning with, you know, the intent to do it later that day, or you passed by a shop and was like, okay, let's pull over and do it? Or?
I woke up that morning and was like, I'm going to get my hair cut today.
But you were going to start with the bob.
No, I was gonna start with like just a pixie cut, like kind of like that Rihanna like pixie cut that she had. So, but today I actually like shaved like more of my head on the back.
Oh.
I did more of like a fade, sort of fade.
Oh, I see.
You know what I mean?
Are there plans to do past that? Are you? Like, are you working your way up to an Amber Rose type of cut, or?
No. I don't know. I have no idea. I mean. It's always fascinated me when I see women pull that off, because Amber Rose pulls it off really well. And then you have like Halsey, and you have like all of these artists out there, and even just these women that just are like whatever, and they just shave off their head. And I'm just like, and they look beautiful. Like, so, I mean, it is a thought. Like, when I saw him doing it today, I was like, I can do that. I can go like buzz, like literally like shave off my hair, but we're gonna wait for that.
But shortcuts aren't for everybody. There's certain people, I mean, there's everyday people. You pass by them and you're like, I don't know, that cut doesn't fit their face, or doesn't fit the look that they're trying to do.
That was the thought in my head when I did cut it. I was like, if I cut this, is my face gonna look okay with the hair? But everybody always told me I had a really long, like I had a long neck, I guess, or something. So they were like, oh, you can pull it off, like you have a long neck. And I was like, okay, like, I guess.
Because there's some people, like in Amber Rose, for example, where the short haircut looks so good. When she does have long hair, it almost looks like she looks better with the short hair.
You know what's crazy is I kind of agree with that.
It almost looks like it's forced when she has long hair.
I love her bald head. I love her bald head. I really do. And I think I had seen her in a wig recently. I think it was like a blonde wig or something. And I don't know. I guess it's because like we've seen her so much with a bald head. It's weird to wrap our minds around her having hair on her head. Like she's gone years.
And then I've seen some people that have chopped it off, and it's like they look better with long hair or some volume.
Yeah. I can definitely. I don't know if I can name any artists that I've seen that have. No, I loved Miley with her long hair. And then when she cut it off, I was like, why? But definitely, like, one of my inspirations, though, for short hair is Pink. She's amazing.
So how long has it been now since you have initially cut it?
Since my hair? 3 weeks. 3 or 4 weeks, I think.
And you kind of spoke about the reaction in the beginning of this segment, but overall, is it more positive than negative? Do you see negative reaction to your hair, or? No,
which is so crazy. I've gotten so much. I got one comment. I did get one comment where it was like, oh no, I miss your long hair, or something like that, or like I don't know, something about like me looking better with my long hair. But that was like, it was just one comment out of all of them. It was mainly positive comments, which was like, I was really thankful for. I was like, wow, I'm glad that they like this.
What about guys? Do you notice a different type of guy, or a different attraction because of your hair?
Like for them towards me?
Yeah. Do you notice the same type of guys that might catcall you or holler at you, or is it a different type of guy that approaches you, or you haven't really noticed it?
I'll be real, I haven't really noticed that. Like,
Or maybe you've noticed the same sex approaching you. Do people think you might be bisexual or gay because of the haircut? Are you getting more women hitting on you?
I'm thinking. I remember when I did cut it, I was walking at Ponce City Market, and I passed like these two guys, and I was wearing like red lipstick, and I had my hair kind of a little, and I did get like, my sister was like, oh my gosh, like they just turned their heads and da-da-da-da. And I guess just for me, I've never really been that kind of person who notices stuff like that. My sister's the one who always calls it out, because she's always like, oh my God, everybody's always looking at you, and I'm just like, I never notice stuff like that. As far as the same sex, I haven't really noticed that either, I guess. Not really.
Not yet. It's still early.
It's still early.
Now, and I forgot to ask you this earlier when we were talking about you actually cutting your hair, but was it emotional when you were actually in the chair getting it cut?
Yeah. Shed
tears?
Not tears. I was having an anxiety attack. Because it's weird. It's just one of those moments where you're cutting off like your life force in some weird way. And, you know, it's been a really long time. I mean, the last time I had a pixie cut was when I was 9. So, you know, being a kid is completely different than being an adult and kind of just rocking it the way that you want to. So I was having an anxiety attack. I definitely did. And it was funny because the hairstylist noticed that. And she was like, you just need to breathe. And I'm like, okay, I'll breathe. So I was trying not to freak out.
What do they do with the hair? Do they ask if you want it, or do they donate it? Or?
It was funny because the lady who cut my hair, she swept everything away, but then I said, oh, I really want to take some of it home. And she was like, oh, I already threw it in the trash. I was really sad. I really wanted to keep it as a souvenir.
You did?
Yeah. Not all of it, like a piece. Not to be weird.
Now, since the cut, it's still early, but of weighing it out, but any regrets on the cut?
No, not at all. Like, I wake up in the morning and it's so easy not to have to like detangle your hair or, you know what I mean? You don't have to put so much product in it, you know, shampoo like all the time. You know, it's real easy, and I don't feel like there's a lot of work to it. And that's kind of like how I like waking up in the morning, where I'm just like, okay, cool, we're chill. I don't have to do much. So that's the amazing thing about it.
Somebody watching this, and let's say they're on the brink, should I cut my hair, should I not? What's the advice there? I mean, circumstances could be different for everybody, but what's general advice here? Somebody thinking about it, they're on the edge, 50-50. What do you say to that person?
I think that if it's something that you've thought about, and mind you, you have to like really think about it, do it. Because like, I mean, your hair grows back, and that's something that, you know, I had to remember when I was sitting in the chair, because I almost backed out of it. I almost backed out of just cutting everything off. And you have to always remember that it's a temporary thing, and your hair will grow back, you know? Like, it's not gonna be gone forever. You know, sometimes it's always good to kind of just like renew your hair, you know, to let it grow back healthy, to let it grow back new. And that's kind of how I thought of it too, is the fact that I've dyed my hair so many times, and I've bleached it, and I've done so much crap to it, to the point where like it was burnt. So doing this, it's gonna look so amazing afterwards. So I'm not really worried anymore. So I would say just do it.
Has your ex made a comment on it?
No.
Still in communication with him, or no?
Not really.
Okay.
Yeah, just kind of do our own things right now. So I wish him so much luck, though.